Hello everyone, I am Dr. Awal Abdurrahman. I am a medical doctor based in Nigeria and the founder of HayMedics Academy. Right now, I am building a new path, learning data science and AI and applying them to real earth problems across Nigeria and Africa. I am working on projects that use data to help predict, prevent, and treat disease better. So, in this module, for this particular lesson, we are going to look into roles in data, okay? Roles in data. And today we are answering a question almost every beginner asks. What are the different jobs in data and which one is right for me? So before we delve into our HayMedics Academy course, okay, we have two tracks for we have two tracks, okay, for healthcare professionals in our course series, which are the healthcare data analytics and healthcare data science. So before we delve in, what are the different jobs in data and which one is right for me? So these are the questions that most beginners always ask. So by the end of these few slides, you will be able to tell a data analyst from a data scientist, from a business analyst, from a data engineer and an AI engineer. No jargon, I promise. Just normal plain analogy that we are going to relate well with. Okay. So, and by way of extension, I'm also going to show us practical examples, end-to-end data projects, trying to differentiate between what data analysts do, data scientists, business analysts, data engineer, and AI engineer. So let us meet the data team. Let us meet the data team, right? So these are the data team. So you think of data as a water for a city. As you can see, I've promised already, no jargons, just normal analogy you can all understand. So here is the big picture. Think of data as water for a city. Some people build the pipes, some read the meters, some forecast demand, and some build the smart taps. Here is who is who. Now let's get into it. Now for a data engineer, okay, right? For a data engineer, the data engineer collect and store. They basically deal most with what? With database. How they can protect database, how they ensure our data are what? They are analysis ready. Okay. Let's say in an hospital setting, a data engineer is responsible for maintaining the database for that particular hospital, for keeping patient records, patient informations. As you know that we are now in the modern age. So you know there's now widespread use of electronic and medical records. Okay, where patient as for every encounter a physician or a surgeon or any of the healthcare team, for any encounter they have with the patient, it's automatically being recorded as a database somewhere. So the data engineer is there to always ensure our database are what they are data analysis ready. So they collect and store, and as well they build the pipe. So from this analogy, that think of data as a water for a city. So the data engineer built the pipes that move and store the data. Right now, the data analyst. The data analyst focus is to analyze and report. They analyze the data, they clean the data, they transform the data. Transformation in the sense that they do feature engineering. Let's say your data has 7 columns, and one of those columns are, let's say it contains weight, height. So it is the function of data analyst to know that let me build a new column which is BMI by doing the normal basic calculation of BMI, kilogram per meter square, weight in kilogram, height in meter. And let's now assume that, let's say our data set the weight is in gram. Well, it's not possible. Let's say the height is in centimeter. So it is the role of data analyst to know that I have to convert centimeter to meter first before doing the feature engineering, before doing any encoding or transforming the data by creating additional columns for easy analysis and for easy analysis and for also dashboard designs. So that is just data. Data analysts should have a critical thinking. There's no advent of AI. People are using AI to analyze data, but then I won't say it's totally wrong. But as a beginner, you need to learn from the right source. You need to know your onions, so that by the time you start using AI, you will be able to even control what AI is trying to give you. Because in data analysis, the major in data analysis, the common catchphrase we normally use is garbage in, garbage out. Okay, garbage in, garbage out. That is the major catchphrase we normally use. Garbage in, garbage out. The moment you input rubbish into your data, you are definitely going to get a very wrong output. Okay, you are going to get a very wrong output. Okay, so and that's why as a data analyst, your role is very key and pivotal in how you analyze your data. Because if you don't analyze your data very well, and by the time you feed your data to a data scientist, let's say in an organization, this is how the sequence goes. So the data scientist, for him to predict a model, is going to work on that data, on that incorrect data, and it is garbage in, garbage out. So by the time you start making prediction, I'm going to show some of the apps I've created on to stratify risk of cardio for people that have that are at high risk of coronary artery disease, even people that are at high risk of stroke. So this has been project I've been doing over the month, and I'm sure that is going to this is a way of me trying to contribute to the better healthcare system in Nigeria and Africa. Now, to an AI engineer build and deploy. They turn models into live smart tools. Okay, they turn model into live smart tools. So those are the now looking at this analogy, think of data as the water for a city. Okay, some build the pipes. So those are data engineer, they build the pipeline. Okay, the pipeline for data end to end. Okay, some read the meters. The analysts, they read the data, they correct what's supposed to be corrected. Some forecast demand, and that is our data scientists. They predict predictive analysis. Okay, they predict predictive analysis through different models: linear regression, logistic regression, talk of your decision tree, random forest, neural network as well. Okay, k-nest clustering. So those are the different stuff we are going to learn under machine learning. So machine learning is just about learning from patterns. They learn from the pattern here from the data analyst data set. They learn from the pattern, and they are able to also predict. Okay, so talk of your supervised learning, unsupervised learning, structured and unstructured data. Okay, the data from a data analysis could be structured data. Structured data is that data that is in a table, that is in a data set, and you're able to see the data columns are there, the rows number are there, you can able to make references to data. Unstructured data set could be something like images. As a data scientist moving into radiology, your images, you can, your x-ray, your CT scan, MRI, they are all data. Okay, they are all still data. You can be able to do some stuff to it and train your data. You can train as well as much as thousands of x-ray images, of which your machine learning is now going to predict based on your trained data. It's going to predict new data set, new images based on your already trained data. Okay, so the AI engineer, they build and deploy. They turn models into live smart tools, right? So those are the important distinction. The business analyst is just the translator who connect business questions to data team at every stage. Let's say in an hospital setting, the data analyst himself can as well coexist as the business analyst. Okay, the data analyst can as well be the business analyst. After the analysis and the report, in your report findings, you'll be able to present to the hospital management. These are the loopholes. This is the most performing ward. Okay, the most performing ward in terms of revenue generation is ICU. Okay, just as an example, you're able to know, okay, the ICU has the total number of these patients, then the length of stay of each patient. Let's say the average length of stay of a patient in the ICU is 10 days, and for each stay, of course, there is a charges for each stay. So you'll be able to tell them, okay, this is the amount of revenue from this ward, this amount of revenue from this department. Let's say surgery department has the highest revenue, no things like that. It's just data analysis, data science is just very, very interesting. Okay, so some people build the pipes and reservoirs so that the water can get around. So those are our data engineers. While some read the meters and tell us how much we are using. Those are data analysts. Some forecast next week's demand. Okay, some forecast next week's demand. Those are the data scientists. And some build the smart automatic tabs. So those are the AI engineer. Okay, so I believe this slide is well enough. So sitting across the whole thing here is the business analyst, who is the translator who makes sure the team is solving the right problem. Okay, so that's how it flows. Okay, that's how it flows. Now, before moving to the subsequent slide, I don't want to bore us with so much of this. So I don't want to really to bore us with so much of this. So we have some beautiful slides here. As you can see, everything well branded with our HayMedics Academy. So I will not really want to bore us so much. Now let's look at the hands-on. Let's do hands-on and see how it works live. Okay, and see how it works live from some of my previous project. I'm going to now, these are some of my applications across healthcare. Okay, so all these applications, as an AI engineer, I didn't really start out as an AI engineer, because as a very good AI engineer, you need to learn data analysis and data science first. Okay, you should know the data that works with whatever models you are building. Okay, when you know the data that works with whatever model you are building, that is going to make it easier for you to go ahead and build our smart models. Of course, for any data set, you are still going to clean the data, and you cleaning the data, that means you are now assuming the role of a data analyst. You clean the data, you apply some models, machine learning models. Now you're already behaving as a data scientist. Okay, and now coming to the stage of deployment, talk of agentic AI, your QAI, LangGraph, Pindatic, OpenAI SDK, and some other stuffs. So for that particular domain, then you're already in what AI engineering domain. Okay, AI engineering domain. So that is the spectrum. That is the spectrum, and that is exactly what we stand for at HayMedics Academy. Okay, you want to learn from that, to follow that spectrum, to follow that structure. Because in anything called knowledge, if you are looking for knowledge, you need to follow a particular pipeline. You need to follow a particular structure. So by the time you are just following abnormal structure, or you are following unstructured pathway, you may not really achieve so many things. For me, I started out as a data analyst while I was doing my internship, and that was even last year while I was doing internship. Today, I've been able to work for clients. I've been able to build dashboards. I've been able to use different software analytical tools. Okay, as I'm going to show us, I've been able to use different software analytical tools like Power BI. As you can see, this is one of my, like, Power BI. So different software analytic tools like Power BI, look at this emergency report. Okay, patient emergency room report. Can you see, like, Power BI? Because one major key difference between Power BI and Microsoft Excel is that Power BI can work on millions of data. By the time you input or you insert data set of about, let's say, thousands of rows in Microsoft Excel, it might even start hanging. Okay, it might start hanging and you won't really enjoy the workflow. However, if you are to clean your data, as I'm going to show us later, with Power Query Editor in Microsoft Excel, it will work fine. It will work fine. So as you can see, this is a patient emergency room visit report. So for me as a data analyst, I have my domain, which is healthcare, and that's exactly what we are preaching to. And that is the gospel I've been preaching. Your data science, data analysis, choose a domain. Don't be, Mr. Know-all. Of course, you have to know everything. I've been working for projects on so many other domain as well. Let's say even education, academic domain, and domain that is not really related to science. But in as much as it is data analysis or data science, I'm still able to do. I'm still able to do that. I've done a business report. Now this is another dashboard on business report which I did. As you can see, business report. This is talking about restaurant and some chocolate restaurant. So as you can see, this is the cost by start of the month. Of course, these graphs. Many looking at this graph, you are going to generate insight from it. Okay, with a single look on this, you're already generating insight rather than looking at a very rough data set. Okay, as a data analyst, you have to clean everything. Okay, you have to do your cleaning and ensure you have to do your cleaning, transform your data to be analysis ready, and this is analysis ready. So these are the salesperson, top sales performers. Okay, these are top sales performers, and by way of bookmark, I use that bookmark here, so I can change to can you see? These are the top performing product. This is for product and this is for sale. So top performing sale. So with a single look, you can be able to just visualize what you are looking for. I can as well focus mode, and let's look at it better. Can you see? So that is the beauty. Honestly, that is the beauty of data analysis. Okay, so I'm showing us this so that you know that it doesn't mean that you specializing into healthcare domain, that is the only data set you can only work on. You can only work on data set for hospital, for laboratories. No, you can as well work for different domains, and that's why there's a concept called data dictionary. So in our course, we are going to cover it extensively. Data dictionary, how you can generate data dictionary. Generate data dictionary is very simple. Copy your header row, and in the first 5 rows for that data set, paste it into your AI and prompt the AI. Now, what are the type of prompts you can use with AI to ensure you get the right result? All the prompts, they are available at HayMedics Academy. We are going to give you prompt, a very solid prompt, which you can use to communicate with your AI. Let me show us an example of such a prompt. Let me show us an example of such a prompt, so you can use to communicate to AI. And if you do that, you are going to get a very accurate result, because nobody codes better than AI. That is the solid truth. Nobody codes better than AI. For someone that can use AI, you know the basic already. So by the time AI is hallucinating and making mistakes, you know where to correct the AI, and AI is going to accept your correction. Now, let me show us some of the prompts you are going to be getting at HayMedics Academy. So these are some of the prompts you are going to be getting at HayMedics Academy. When you want to build your AI model, so the first thing you need to prompt your AI is that you need to tell your AI the role the AI should assume. This is where most people make mistakes. You need to tell AI the role they want to assume. So they want to assume a senior machine learning research scientist plus a biostatistician plus neurologist consultant. So this is when I want to work on my stroke prediction model. Okay, as you can see, research scientist plus biostatistician plus neurologist consultant. So you are also trying to tell your AI model to think like a neurologist consultant, think like a physician as well, in addition to you thinking like a scientist. So that's how it works. Okay, that's how it works. So if you don't have all these, and then this is how you section your prompt. Can you now say all these things are still a single prompt? So they are still a single prompt. So these are the things you are going to show you at HayMedics Academy. There are ways you work smart. As an healthcare professional, you are a busy person. For me, I still attend to patients in clinics. I still do a lot of stuff. I give patient appointments and the likes. So, however, I don't even manage in private hospitals. Okay, however, that does not mean your business should hinder you from exploring different paths. And that's why you need to use AI. A project that is meant to take you 10 days, with AI, it can take you 2 days, and you'll be fine. And you might even be more, you might even get more output than someone using 10 days without using AI. So that the world is moving so fast, and of course we need to adapt with the changes, the dynamics of how the world is moving. Okay, so this is just one of the points. Can you see how very long it is? Okay, so this is another prompt. You are the role you want the AI to assume a role. You are a senior Microsoft Excel dashboard designer and data visualization specialist of 10 plus years experience, of more than 10 years experience of building. By the time you give this to AI, there's no how AI will return an incorrect result. Can you see? So these are the things you want the AI to do. So starting from the rows, that's how you do your prompt engineering. You start from the rows, then you task. What are the tasks? So these are the tasks. Helping generate a data dictionary, data head checks. There are a lot of it. There are so many prompts here. There are so many prompts here actually, of which there are so many prompts. Can you see? These are another prompt, and you have so many things to gain. Okay, at HayMedics Academy, you have so many things to gain at HayMedics Academy. Now back to our data pipeline. So I was saying that these are my applications. So now let's look at cardio risk AI. AI and see how we can be able to make an explanation based on how each role, a data analyst, data scientist. My app is sleeping. Get up, and let's get to work. So your data analyst, your data scientist, data engineer, and AI engineer. Okay, so now the data set I used for this particular cardio risk AI, let me show us. So, and the process of cleaning data and some other associated things is even loading. Okay, I think it has finished loading. So this app can be accessed by anyone. Okay, this is deployment. For some people, you do your project is staying on your local computer. Is that supposed to be? That's not supposed to be. How can you be able to deploy your deployment? How can you know? There's no how you talk of deployment and visibility without talking of LinkedIn, without talking of Git and GitHub. So at HayMedics Academy, we won't just give you project to do. We don't do that. We won't just give you project to do. We will also teach you how you can push your project to the world, for the whole world to see what you are doing. Okay, and that is where the concept of Git and GitHub comes in. Git and what? And GitHub. We're also going to teach you how to, even Git and GitHub says an entire course on its own, of which some could even charge as much as 50,000, 20,000 on it. Okay, and as the additional bonus, we are not still going to teach you just how to use Git and GitHub. We are also going to teach you how to use Git and GitHub to make your portfolio page. And okay, I'm not saying this that if you register for HayMedics Academy and those are the eligibility criteria of you gaining access to an exclusive and premium Git and GitHub class. If you register for HayMedics Academy and you are able to come up after these 3 months, you are able to come up with 5 solid projects across all domains. Across, we are going to teach you Power BI for data visualization, as I showed you the emergency dashboard. If you are also able, of course, you should be able to, with our teachings, you should be able to come up with something like this. If you are able to come up with a project in Power BI for data visualization, okay, as can see select time. If I want to see patients that always come in the afternoon, I'll just click on PM. Okay, can you now see automatically my data will change? As can you see, total patient visit for noon is 4,584 patients. Okay, so the non-administrative percentage, administrative percentage, can you now start for week type? So on weekend, there's a lesser visit in weekend. 1,300 patients visit on weekend at noon. Okay, I've changed the time at noon. Then 3,300 patients visit in the weekday. So as you can see, now let me change it back to morning. I've changed it back to morning. So in the morning visit, there are about 4,632 patients in the morning visit. Okay, so that's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, these are the male in terms of gender. 51, we have more male patients visiting more than female patients. 51.5%, 48.2%. These are the total visits by month, and as you can see, the average satisfaction score. So if I change to average waiting time, it's going to reflect. As you can see the reflection here. So those are the issues. In fact, I need to give credit to Chandu. Okay, I watched Chandu tutorial to come up with this beautiful dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard is so beautiful. I can also tell you for a fact that this dashboard can take you like 3 days to come up with. 3 days, but I can tell you for a fact that if you can master your AI, of which you are going to cover at HayMedics Academy, this dashboard will take you 2 hours. This dashboard will take you 2 hours instead of 3 days, instead of 72 hours. Of course, 3 days, I think, yes, that is 72 hours. This dashboard will take you 2 hours instead of 72 hours. Because as a healthcare professional, you are so busy. In fact, you might even be the administrative staff. As an administrative staff, you have so much work to do in the hospital. You could be the HOD. So you can't just be sitting with your data analysis and trying to, although we are still going to teach you the right, how to create your dashboard from scratch. Okay, looking at this, this data set I used, courtesy of Chandu. So Chandu, you can see it on YouTube and is doing well. So this data set I used. So I actually got it from his GitHub account. Okay, with GitHub, there's a way you can, if you have a GitHub account, GitHub account, there's a way you can connect with other professionals in that feed, or if you can benefit from their, you can benefit from their GitHub repository. Okay, because just I'm going to show you my own repository shortly. So when you see my repository, you can download my dashboard and also work on it by yourself. You can download the data set and also do some analysis with the data set, and you have to get your hands dirty on so many data sets. So this is just one of the table. Okay, this is another table here. Okay, as you can see, I'm trying no with this table now. I'm already doing data transformation. I already data transformation. These are the years. So this is the table month, table year. Okay, these are my measures. Okay, these are my measures. Your measures is more like you generating new columns, because in Microsoft Excel, the equivalent of that in Microsoft Excel is uh sorry, is a generation of new columns. But in Power BI, we talk of measures. And for your measure, one of the best practice that we teach at HayMedics Academy, for all your measures, they have to be separate. As you can see, these are my measures. These are the new measures I created from the existing data set. So the average waiting time was not existing in the data set before. I had to create it. And that's why your data thinking skills, that's where it comes in. Although regular use of AI, you can lose your data thinking skill, but with appropriate mentorship, we are going to teach you how to apply AI without losing your data thinking skill. So with my thinking skill, I'm able to generate average wait time. I was able to generate referred patient, no rating. I was able to generate percentage I made visit. All these things are not in the data set originally. I have to use my knowledge, my experience, my expertise, being in the healthcare domain. Of course, I'm well acquainted with all these things. So I have to use my experience to generate all this referred patient. In the healthcare system, is referred patient and retain some patient. Reason for referral too. I don't mean there is a space for reason for referral. Is it reason based on inadequate bed space? Is it reason based on unavailability of physician and things like that? So you really love it. So if you can come up with a project in Power BI, you can come up with a project. You can come up with project in Biostatistics, your SPSS. As you can see, as a data analyst, you can work in the academic domain. Let's say you are a public health resident, public health or community medicine resident. So we are going to teach you SPSS and Biostatistics. So before moving to SPSS, of course, we have a separate modules for Biostatistics where we teach Biostatistics right from from A to Z. Talk of data visualization, in fact, I even think of making a separate video of discussion about statistics A to Z within 2 hours. So parametric, non-parametric testing, your time survival, how you can reliability scale testing, okay, and so many other stuffs So how you can compare your mean, okay, sample and one way and over. When you have more than three, when you want to determine the single difference between more than three or more groups, you use ANOVA. But if you are talking of two groups, you use depending on, is it a before or after test and some other analogy like that. That's where your t-testing comes in. Your regression is there, your correlation is there. Correlation of which we are not necessarily talking about causation, because when you are doing correlation between two numerical variables, you are talking of association between them, which may not necessarily translate to causation. However, in regression, you are talking of correlation. So you can do so many regression stuff here. Okay, so these are your non-parametric tests. In case your data set does not follow this symmetric pathway, your data set is skewed or does not follow the normal symmetrical pathway, then your parametric t-testing, which is the compare means, may not work. So that's why you need to use a non-parametric t-testing. Okay, so survival analysis, Kaplan-Meier curve, and all these things these are receiver operator curve. Now there's an history attached to this receiver operator curve in the aviation industry. So all these things are things we are going to treat extensively, and I'm saying this extensively. Okay, we are going to treat them extensively. That's why we only need a committed participant, right? And of course, it's not necessary you attend all live classes. Our classes are going to be live and interactive, but if one way or the other you are busy, I understand how healthcare profession in Nigeria is so busy. Everyone is busy, and I really understand, and that's why recordings will be available. You watch the recording. Anything you don't understand, you come to my DM, you ask questions, I will put you through. Because anything tech or anything data analysis, you might be working on a project and get stuck. You can be stuck for days without you knowing the way out. Although I'm still going to teach us, anytime we are stuck, I'm going to teach us how you can interact with AI to solve, to debug and troubleshoot anything we are facing. Okay, I'm still going to teach us that. Additionally, now Now that is true project. I mean, that is second project in our power in your what in your biostatistics. Also, if you can be able to come up with project in SQL in my SQL, okay, as you can see, this is one of my projects. So this is just a customer project, okay, retail customers project, retail store customer. So if you are also able to come up with a project in MySQL, if you are able to come up with a project there, of course you will have now this is the third project, okay. This I hope you are following. This is third project because that this is the eligibility criteria for you to know how to use Git and GitHub to create website, to create your portfolio page. Let's assume you are a consultant. As a consultant or a professor, you should have your own portfolio page. That anytime people ask of it, oh, you just tell them, go to my website. My website, HayMedics Academy, is actually a basic website which I did by myself. I did it A to Z by myself. It's a basic website. Okay. So, and if at all you are also interested in, but for me at HayMedics Academy, we believe in learning. We believe in pass information to people. We teach people how to fish. We don't just give you fish. We teach you how to fish. So I might just as well try to keep all these secrets and just say, okay, oh, I'm building website for people. Come and give me job. Come and give me work to do. Let me build your website. But instead of that, I will also teach you so that you'll be empowered. Not only empowered, you can also use it for your own self or for your organization. Let's say you are working for an NGO. With that, you can just prove yourself to them that let me build a website for you with Git and GitHub. I just learned that from HayMedics Academy. You build a website for them. So now, as an eligibility criteria, if you are able to register for the 2 tracks, come up with all these projects. This is the third project. Okay, come up with at least 5 projects across all these domains. I'm going to teach you how to build your website, and at that, I'm also going to put you through how to build your first portfolio page and your first website, customized website with your name. Let's say your name is let's say you are Dr. Allison. So you can just say drallison.com, or any customized name of your choice. So that is professionalism speaking. So this is the third project. The other projects are Microsoft Excel. Of course, you should be able to come up with as much project as possible in Microsoft Excel. Okay, in terms of your dashboard, this is how you report data in Microsoft Excel. Let me put this on full screen. So this is how anytime they give you work at your maybe NGO or even client, there's what you have to report: findings and interpretation. What have you found? These are what I found. Key findings: length of stay is shorter on the new protocol, this and that. So those are the issues. Okay, those are the issues, as you can see. So you give them report findings. Okay, this is your home navigation. The first thing you do is that this is a basic data set for this community teaching hospital. It is cleaned, analyzed, and dashboard. So it is well cleaned. I'm going to show us the raw data set of this particular very Adam community teaching hospital. The data set is very dirty. It's very dirty. Now, how do you clean your data set? It's an entire work. You can be cleaning your data set for hours. However, your analysis and your dashboard design and some other stuff could just take you can be cleaning data set for days. Let me even say days. You get stuck, you do this, you do that, you try to debug, you try to troubleshoot, and all this thing may not be possible if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have someone that can guide you, because you just keep wasting time. I know these healthcare professions, people are busy. You need to learn smart and and do stuff together. Let's say 3 clients give you work to do. You can't be troubleshooting and do this, doing that. No, it's not possible that way. Okay, it's not possible. That we need to work fast and smart. And as well as a healthcare professional, you can't abandon your profession. We need more doctors in Nigeria. So you can't say, since you're not a tech bro, you won't be attending to patients again. You won't be doing this. No, let us be sincere to whatever we are doing. And I'm saying this as an advice to any healthcare professional watching this particular video. Let us be sincere with whatever we are doing. The body is so massive already that we just can't give up on. We can't really give up on clinical medicine. Okay, we can't give up on clinical medicine, because if you and I decide to avoid clinical medicine and say, okay, I'm not going to see patients again. I now have remote jobs I'm doing at home, so I'm not seeing patient. Even all this is a form of worship. When you treat patient, is a form of worship. It's a form of worship. You are trying to remove difficulty from your fellow human being, and be rest assured that Almighty Allah will also remove that same difficulty from you on the day of, in the year after. So, as a just as a as a healthcare professional, you just have to know what you are doing. You just have to work smart, fast and smart with AI. So we teach you how to do that without losing your data thinking, so that you can still be able to go to your work you are doing. So you can't just leave your work and say, okay, since you are now financially buoyant, you are receiving remote jobs. You don't want to do clinical medicine again. My own course is not for you to leave clinical medicine. I'm saying it as a disclaimer. Please and please, I'm shouting again. I'm not saying you should leave clinical medicine. Of course, after your internship, after this boot camp, you are going to be sharing job adverts so that you can apply to them. Okay. But before application process, as I told you, another benefit of registering with HayMedics Academy, well, most of the boot camps out there, they don't have they won't teach you how to generate resume, because there's a difference between CV and resume. You can't be posting your CV for every job. Each job has job description, and you need to tailor your resume towards that job description. Let's say a job is looking for, let's say, a research company, research institute is looking for a data analyst, and now you're not saying you can create dashboard for Microsoft Excel. Who is asking you that one? For your resume, what should be your resume should be more of biostatistics and SPSS, Python. In Python as well, we're also going to teach SciPy, how to use SciPy. There are ways you can use SciPy. It's a library in Python. You have many libraries in Python. Talk of Panda, talk of Pandas, talk of NumPy, SciPy, Scikit-learn. Okay, we have so many of them. Those are the popular ones. So how to use SciPy to also do analysis. So you need to be talking towards that line, how to use data to analyze data. So that you are what? You are tailoring your CV. You are tailoring your resume. And that's why there's a difference between CV and resume. Your CV will contain almost all your certification, all your achievement, but a resume should be tailored towards that particular job description. However, let's now assume that an hospital is looking for data analysts and the likes. Of course, you may not be talking that, okay, you have proficiency with Microsoft Excel, you have proficiency with SQL, you can do, you also have some proficiency with cloud computing. Like for me, the speaker now, I have proficiency with cloud computing. Talk of your Azure, AWS. Those are the two major stuff. Amazon Web Service, AWS and Azure. So those are the ways you tailor your CV. So all these things is going to be taught in career and your career toolkit. Battle ready resume. Talk of but not only battle ready resume, and also you are going to be given code email template, how to send code email that employers can never reject. Because all these applications you see on LinkedIn, personally for me, I've been applying for jobs on LinkedIn, of which I'm not getting any reply. Although may Nigeria not happen to us, I was able to land an interview, honestly, but I had network issue. That's why I say that. I'm sorry to say that. Although I should not be saying this outside, but this is on YouTube and many people are watching. But may Nigeria not happen to us. So I had serious issue with network. So I was not able to do the interview. I was pained and I was seriously, depressed about that, but I believe all is fine. So even if you are not able to get job, you can make job for yourself. So all these things will be taught. What I'm doing right now, teaching people, organizing bootcamp, you can also do same thing. There's no competition. Okay. I'm totally fine with competition. Okay. We help others to grow. Nigeria is so large. The projection in the next 10 to 20 years, Nigeria might be the third largest country in the world. So you need to build as a youth. You need to build, and that's why all these are billionaires. Talk of Mr. Inyaboyeji said that Nigeria are just influencer and we are just generation of. He said it in one of his interview. Okay, in one of his interview, you should check it out at Afropolitans. Search for Afropolitans on YouTube and check it out. Check that interview. He said most of us as a youth, we are just influencers. We are not builders. You need to build a course, sell it to people. Build a digital product, sell it to people. Okay, you can't just be waiting for jobs. Create jobs for yourself. Create jobs for yourself. I'm repeating it. Create jobs for yourself. Don't depend on your 9 5 job. Your 9 5 job. Find side hustle. Nigeria is large. The market is there. You see people to apply. Even if 30 people are doing healthcare for data analysis and data science, you are still going to find your own market. Nigeria is large. Look at the number of universities we have. Look at the number of college of medicine you have. Now, let's now say that you are going to meet the dean of clinical medicine from different college of education to partner with them on how to teach their students. There are 200 level and 300 level students, because the new 200 level and 300 level curriculum, we now have IT being incorporated into the curriculum. Kudos to the federal government. They are trying their best. They will now have the curriculum is now being set up in a way that IT, information and technology skill is now incorporated in it. So as part of the IT posting, you can just meet up with the dean, with the provost, and talk to them. Okay, I have this course I can send to your student. Let us collaborate. Now that is your market. You generate cool money without lifting a finger. So they just watch your tutorial videos, some other things you have done, and you are just generating money. So that's just by the way. Now this is your fourth project. Now let's say you now work on a fourth project in Microsoft Excel as well. I'm saying this, all these are just criteria. So this is a dashboard, but this dashboard I can further design it actually. So now as part of your fourth project, you need to build a dashboard. You build a report finding, you clean a very messy data. I'm going to show us the data. Now Word Explorer. Can you see? This is your Word Explorer. Stop it. So this is your Word Explorer. This is your Word. Okay, let me go to the Sheet tab and change it. So this is your Word Explorer now. Now let's say now you want informations of each word one after the other. So for your ICU now, these are the total encounters you had in ICU. 316 encounters, and the mortality rate is 13%. It's your 13%. Now let's now look at mortality. What ICU, I believe that the mortality rate in ICU should not be much, because that is intensive care unit. Okay. Now let's look at medicine, internal medicine. I'm sorry. Now let's look at internal medicine and see. Well, 3.6%. I was even thinking otherwise. 3.6%. So let's look at oncology. 2.2%. Surgery. 2.7%. A&E. So 5. So this data set does not really represent the reality. Okay, because it's not a real data set. It's actually generated. So there are ways I can teach you how to auto-generate data set. The data set I'm using here, I synthesize it. Even the data set I use across my courses, because you have to avoid copyright issue. Okay, you have to avoid copyright issue. So there's a way I auto synthesize it. So how do you auto synthesize data? You can just wake up one day and just synthesize one data set and practice with it. You are not only that you practice with it, you can as well further refine it, modify it, make it to a fine dashboard, do some regression analysis, do some statistical analysis, and post it on your GitHub. The moment that project is on your GitHub, it will automatically reflect on your portfolio page. So I can teach you how to link your GitHub to your portfolio page. It will automatically reflect on your portfolio page, and anybody can see it. So you can just post it on LinkedIn. Hello LinkedIn family, I'm excited to share a project here. From there you tag people. Okay, you include your GitHub link, you include your portfolio link. So when people see it, your project is not just sitting on your local computer. It's not just sitting on your computer, and that's the mistake most people do. Your project is there sitting on your computer. How do you put it out to the world? How do they know what you are up to? Even all these courses, another thing I will say for all these courses is that all these data analysis courses, you can even use it to look for scholarship. Let's say you are doing all this data analysis, and of course you can cold email your professors. Let's say you need a recommendation letter for any of your professors in school. Of course, they will definitely ask you that, what have you done in this field? Okay, you say you are interested in public health. So what have you done in public health to showcase that, or to serve as an evidence that you are interested in public health? So you can just, what you just do, there's no any, you don't even have to, no long talks. Share them your portfolio page. You might look at your portfolio page, look at all your projects. You'll be surprised with the kind of recommendation letter you will get. From there, you can use it to apply for MSc scholarship. The opportunities are just massive. Okay, so now for you to get this portfolio page, that's what I'm shouting. You need to come up. That is the minimum criteria. You need to come up with at least 5 projects. Because if you build portfolio page and your project is not there, Even for some of you that are researchers, there are ways you can build a portfolio page where you include all your research page, your Google Scholar account, you include everything there, and you'll be very surprised that it will be so easy. It can't be for people like things are now about cloud. You put it on web, you can't be sending PDF to people around. PDF, this is my resume. You send PDF to this one WhatsApp. this thing, you send PDF to this one, you send Google document. No, put it on the web, send website link to them. It's so easy. And on the web, your data are protected. Your data are well protected. Although don't share too much personal info on the website, on your web. Don't share too much personal information there. So can you now see that this is mean length of stay by the treatment arm, the treatment protocol. So for those that had the standard treatment and for those that were tested on the new protocol treatment. So from here you can this is very interactive. So this thing I'm doing here is what known as data validation. There are ways you do it, and I'm going to teach us during the bootcamp. So these are data validation, and now your statistical test. You know that I told us that we generate the mean length of stay. And that mean length of stay was not initially in the data, is a form of what? Feature engineering. While you're trying to clean your data set, you generated a mean length of stay. So I'm going to clean I don't always like all this filter button. Press your Control A, then I want to uncheck that particular filter button. So go to your data. So go to your data, yes, data, then uncheck this. So can you now see? So now this is your length of stay. It was actually generated. No, this data set doesn't come with length of stay. You have to generate it on your own. So it comes from you subtracting discharge date from the admission date. So this length of stay is a numerical variable, and this numerical variable you can use it to check the comparison between these categorical variable. Words, there are so many words here. The words is more than 2. So when you're not checking a numerical variable, the association between different categorical variables, what are you going to use? Let me test your biostatistics knowledge. What are you going to use? Are you telling me t-testing? You are very wrong. You are very wrong. Because t-testing is two. You are dealing with 2 variables. But with the moment is 3 or more variables, you are going to use your ANOVA. Talk of 1-way ANOVA, 2-way ANOVA, MANOVA. All these things are Control Z. So all these things are very simple. Okay, and are going to be taught even as an MSc student or PhD student. You don't really need to be, as I told us, I don't like, okay, one client gave me work, I will teach you how to also do it on your own. And that is the real empowerment. This is the real empowerment you want to do for healthcare professional. I've had experiences where professors, HODs, they don't know how to analyze data with Microsoft Excel. Student results are getting they are getting altered. So these are the issues. And this is all about lack of proficiency in the use of Microsoft Excel. Okay, so those are the issues. So the word here is a categorical variable but numeric. Okay, the length of stay of each word. That's numerical variable. Okay, that is numeric. And is actually more than 3 or more, is more than 2. So you can use ANOVA to compare the mean. You are trying to compare the mean of length of stay of maternity to length of stay of pediatric A&E ICU. So you are going to use ANOVA. Now let's now say that I want to compare the length of stay of those that receive standard treatment and new protocol. Can you now see that this is binary now? Okay, treatment arm. Anytime you're having 2 possibilities, it's binary, 0 and 1, true or false, before and after, true or false, and the list goes on. So if male and female, though some people may say they may say I'm hermaphrodite, male and female, let's just put it that way. So for your treatment arm, now you are now trying to know the mean. You are trying to compare the mean of length of stay of those that receive standard treatment and those that receive the new protocol treatment. So now this is 2. This is 2 stuff. So in this very case, you go with your what? T-testing. Now, is it dependent or is it peer T-testing or unpaired T-testing? This is not paired. Paired is like maybe before and after. Let's say now it is before and after treatment. That is paired. Now, but in this case, it is independent. Standard protocol, standard treatment and new protocol, they are independent. So use your independent T-testing. Now, can you now see from a single data set, can you now see how I am synthesizing, as a data analyst, I've been able to clean and transform this data using Power Query. As a biostatistician, sorry about that. As a biostatistician, as a statistician, I've been able to apply statistical analysis, research grade. There are ways you report your table. There are ways you design your table using the APA format. Most Nigerian universities, they use our APA format. Let's say 7th edition. I'm not sure of the latest edition. There are ways you tabulate. How do you design your table? Or with Microsoft Word, there are ways you have to design your table in Microsoft Word. Although SPSS has a way of perform their design table, but in cases where you are just too lazy to use your SPSS and just want to work with Microsoft Excel, or just want to work with Python. So as you can see, as a data analyst, data scientist, you have so many luxury. You just be doing shakara. Let's say today I just want to use Excel to analyze. Tomorrow let me use SPSS. Okay, next tomorrow let me use Python, SciPy. SciPy. Python too has a statistical library, which is SciPy. I want to use SciPy in Python. So those are the luxury when you know your onions. Now, so for this case now, treatment arm. So the result, independent testing. So there are so many other things you can do. Now, I'm able to talk about the analysis, clean and transform your data. The other is you talking about rows in data, clean and transform your data. From there, you also you do engineering, featured engineering, and encoding. You can as well encode. So for your encoding now, for this male and female, you can encode it as 0, 1, and 2. 1 should be male, female should be 2. You can do encoding. Let me see other ways where you can do encoding. You can also do encoding in your smoker status. Even in this smoking status now, you can do your chi-square, your chi-square testing. Okay, you can do your chi-square testing. So by initially doing 2x2 table, and you do your other stuff under chi-square. Okay, under chi-square. So now in this your smoker status, you can encode it. No should be 0, yes should be 1. You can encode it. This is a binary variable. And those are the stuffs. Those are the things. The reason why all these places are empty is that this, you can put this as null. For some data sets that are very messy, you may not want to remove all blank rows. If you remove all blank rows, unless in as much as patient has encounter ID, this encounter ID, of course, this encounter ID is more like your primary key. It's more like your primary integer. If at all you want to delete something, it has to be from this primary key. So the concept of primary key, foreign key, it will be so important when you get to my SQL. Okay, concept of primary key and foreign key. When you get to SQL, you are going to see, this concept in great detail. All right, SQL. So since this encounter key exists, so there's no way dropping this particular row. There's no way you have to drop it. You can just input null. Okay, I can just put null into it. Well, by the time you are, and this is part of the thing we are going to teach you. By the time you are just there dropping all empty rows, dropping all empty column, that your analysis may not really work fine, honestly, because you are dropping potential patient record. So that analysis may not work fine. And anything called primary key, it has to be unique to this very patient. It has to be unique. So now let's look at the analysis. Let's look at the can you now see these are the statistical analysis? Okay, can you now see how you these are the interpretations? So on this data set now, I've been able to double up. Can you see one way and over? This is what I was saying. The length of stay by word. You now have more. You are comparing means across 3 or more variable now. So can you now see independent sample testing? So this is the frequency, the mean standard deviation. So as you can see, these things are just too sweet. Statistics is just too sweet. Don't be a data analyst. Not all data analysts are statisticians, but HayMedics Academy, being an academician, someone that is inclined towards academic, I won't just be, we are not here to just analyze data. Statistics is also important. So this is where at HayMedics Academy, this is where you get all in one. I'm repeating myself because in some other process, they will teach you data analysis. After learning data analysis from that bootcamp, you now have to go and register for another bootcamp somewhere to learn about statistics. After learning statistics, you now have to go and register for another boot camp to go and learn data science. After learning data science, you now have to go and you now still have to go and register for another boot camp to learn about AI engineering and how to build your model, how to deploy your model. Does it supposed to work? After that, you now have to go and register for another boot camp. You now still have to go and register for another boot camp to learn about how to learn about Git and GitHub, how to use GitHub. Then after that, can I see how many boot camps you are now there? By the time you are just moving from one boot camp to another, you'll be exhausted. You won't even know what you are doing again. So after that, you now still go and register. You now still go and register for another boot camp to know how to design website, to know how to do, to know how to website that AI can do it for you within 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes, you are using something you can do within 20 minutes, and you are not trying to learn. You are not trying to learn it for 3 months, of which that knowledge may not even be useful. As a professor, as a prof, as a HOD, all what you need is how to design your portfolio page, in a very professional way. So you have to go and register for another bootcamp and website design, how to convert your sales, how to do sales dashboard. So all these things they are just too unnecessary. But at HayMedics Academy, it is all in one place. All in one place. I'm repeating, all in one place. So these are your findings. So you can just look at the findings as well. So those are the issues. Can you now see how this table are? Can you now see the correlation now? So you are trying to correlate BMI with systolic blood pressure. Is there any association between BMI and systolic blood pressure? And I'm repeating myself, correlation is just a test of association, not a causation. So it is, by the time you now get to a regression, linear regression, multiple regression, logistic regression. So that's when I start talking about causation. That, okay, this and this, the higher the age, and BMI, you want to know whether BMI and age, the higher they are, the more likely tendency the patient should have blood pressure, which is obviously true. Your BMI, high BMI, talk of metabolic syndrome, is actually, or syndrome X, though syndrome X is no longer in use. You now call it a metabolic syndrome. So can you now see higher BMI, you are at risk for systemic blood pressure, not only systolic blood pressure, even diabetes, but we are not here to discuss stuff. So the standard protocol, the new protocol, and as you can see, so a whole lot of them. Can I say Fisher exact test? It's just like a similitude of chi-square, but that's when you have a very small groups, okay, small data set, Fisher exact test, and those are the things you are going to look at. And I'm sure that you're going to love it. You are just going to love it. Okay, so that is it. So this data set now has been transformed as a data analyst. Okay, now as a data scientist, you have been able to create, as a biostatistician, you have been able to create a dashboard from it. You have been able to create a research grade analysis. Now let us look at the dirty data set. Let me show you data set once again so you look at it very well. Now let me show us the dirty data set. How dirty the data set? Very dirty. This first name and last name, I have to split it. Initially it was together, and even some of it was having comma. This Ibrahim, I think this Ibrahim was even having comma. There are some are in capital letter throughout, some are in small letter, some does not even start. As a proper noun, every proper noun has to start with capital letter, but some we are not even starting with capital letter. I have to clean, I have to, those are the issues. So even some of the diagnosis, some of them, for let's say for this type 2 diabetes, one funny truth is that for some row they wrote diabetes 2. In some other row they wrote T2 diabetes. Of course, everything is type 2 diabetes. In some row they wrote DM2. So you now want to convert whether the rows that has DM2, the rows that has type 2 diabetes, the rows that has T2 diabetes, the rows that has non-type 1 diabetes. You want to convert everything to type 2. So those are parts of data cleaning. That's how you clean your data. And if you don't have knowledge of this domain, let's say an architect. Now let's say you study architect in school and you want to analyze this data. Is that possible? That's not possible now. It's not possible, because the reason why I say it's not possible is that you won't be able to know that T2DM is also referring to type 2 diabetes. You won't be able to know that DM2 is also referring to type 2 diabetes. It's not possible. So you need to have domain knowledge. I'm hammering it that domain knowledge is very, very important. Okay, domain knowledge is very, very important. Even this blood pressure initially was together. They wrote 110/79 together. They wrote 90 clinical. So all these things, they were initially together. I have to split it. That is called, you are thinking well. So I have to split into systolic, then diastolic, so you can be able to do your analysis. Okay, so that you can be able to do your analysis. So even some in the messy data set I'm about to show, some has a some has age of 999. How could someone be 999? So as a way of doing your data cleaning, what you have to do is that in your Power Query, there's a code you can insert in your Power Query. All these things you can do it in your Power Query within 30 minutes. Yes. For the code you have to use in your Power Query, Claude, the big boss, can generate those code for you. How is Claude going to generate those code for you? I'm going to teach us, because for we are going to teach you guys at HayMedics Academy, because for you to ask Claude to clean your data set from A to Z and do that for you, Claude could make mistake. But if you are doing it face by face with Claude, face by face, like Claude is just trying to assist you, that is fine. So you can just say Claude should help you generate a formula to clean this age column. So to generate it, Claude just say, okay, for the age, let me put limit to the age, that only age that falls between 1 year to 120 year should be captured. Of course, someone could live up to 120 year. Though the 992 is it may be possible, but then let me just keep my reservation. So now you can just tell Claude to, okay, 1 to 20 year will be retained. There's a way it's going to, for even in that data set, some has 0 year. So there's no way you can be 0 year. Okay, 0 year. Now this is another data transformation. Age band was not there before. Age band was now included. So by way of convenience, you may want to split the age into groups, into categories: 18 to 39, 40 to 59, 0 to 70. So these are how you do your data cleaning and data transformation. Even in this your date, in a Microsoft Excel, there are different date formats. There's long date, there is short date. Some dates could be long, and even there are different local. That's another issue. When you want to transform your date, you might encounter so many issues. When you want to transform your date, because you might encounter issue with the date format itself. Are we talking of local? Are we talking of short dates or long dates? Local is that for Americans, if you are working for an American client, their own date, usually months come first. I know that in Nigeria, days come first. If I want to report, okay, 15/6/2025. No, let's say I want to report 9/5/2025. How would you know that 9 is for September and that 5 is for May? So you check the local. You now set the local. However, for UK, for United Kingdom, the local is always set at the day come first. So let's say 9. That 9 means 9th day. Then 05. That 05 is May. But for American, that 9 is September. That 5 is the day, 5th of September. So those are the issues. If you don't work with an experienced data analyst, because I've had issues with this date in my previous analysis, local, I've had issues with. So if you are not being taught or mentored by an experienced data analyst, you can get stuck while trying to debug, troubleshoot your formatting of your date for days. You won't just get it. Even AI will not get it. You just have to understand the process. Now let me show us the dirty data set and see what I've been trying to explain. So here is the dirty data set. Now look at the data set. So can you see this ENC, this third row here? Can you see this third row here? Is having there's a space bar before E. So, and that's not supposed to be. And can you now see there's another space bar here? So that's not supposed to be. So this has to be trim. There's a trim function, there's clean function, there's proper function. For you to do your straight analysis, just use proper, trim, clean. You have to combine functions together. That is going to be done. It's going to clean, trim, and proper. Proper means for every first letter, the first letter would be the first letter of a proper noun will assume a capital letter. Now the patient full name in our clean data set, this has been split to first name and last name. Can I see the Apia Ibrahim? So here in our clean data set, this same Apia Ibrahim, can I see that we've been able to successfully split Ibrahim and Apia. So of course, as a way of giving out, I'm going to show you step-by-step process of data cleaning and transformation in Power Query Editor. Initially, I tried to clean this data on Microsoft Excel interface, directly on Microsoft Excel interface, but it was just too slow. This data set is about 4,000 rows. So, and that is the superiority of the Power BI as over Microsoft Excel. Okay, but even at that, that superiority is not really an issue, because in Microsoft Excel, there's options of you using Power Query Editor, so you can clean your data in Power Query without it hanging. So, can I that this Ibrahim and Apia has been split now, and the comma in this Ibrahim has been removed. And as well, the proper function is now applied. Ibrahim being a proper now, having capital letter, Apia also having capital letter. So those are the issues. Those are the issues you need to know. So now, can you now see that this data set is very dirty? This is one of the most dirtiest data sets I'll ever encounter. And I'm telling you this for a fact. This is the dirtiest data set you're going to encounter. Now let's look at it column by column, and I'm sure you are going to accept what I just said now, that this is the most dirty data set you are going to come across. So the moment you can clean this type of data set, believe me, there is no any data set you can't clean. And I'm going to show us step-by-step process of doing this. Okay, at the last part of this video, I will show you step by step. I've said that you have to watch this video. The last part of this video discusses about, so you have to keep watching this video. So the last part of this video discusses about the step-by-step process of cleaning this data. So now let's continue. Let's fire on. So can you see, starting from the first column, encounter ID, there are so many errors there. Can you see this space should not be there? As a data analyst, it's a simple trimming. You use your trimming function. Now let's look at the patient's full name. This patient full name is something, as a data analyst, you should be knowledgeable that anything like full name in any analysis, not just only this particular data set, in any analysis, I'm repeating myself, in any analysis, ensure your full name is split into first name, last name. That is professionalism for you. First name, last name. So this was splitted. Okay, using you can use delimiter. Delimiter is spacebar. Okay, sometimes there's a delimiter with a comma, but the comma was not in every. I didn't mean this comma that is appear is on every row in this data set. Then I'll use my delimiter with combination. I'm going to tick combination of spacebar and combination of comma, as you are going to see at the last part of this video where I did a data cleaning for this particular data set. This is the dirtiest data set you ever encounter. So dirtiest. Can you see? Look at your API, or everything being capitalized, and that's not supposed to be. So now looking at your gender column, in your gender column, male, all male in small letter, male in capital letter, man. this thing is so funny. And the reason for this is that this actually happens most of them. Let's say for an hospital database now that everybody's just clicking anything anyhow. There's no data validation. You can validate data and select a drop down that only two words can fit into this column. You can do it. That is data validation, and everything will be explained in our course, data validation. So to avoid all this error, there's a way you can validate your data. Even to avoid this kind of error, there's a way you can collect your data. There's a way you can collect your data using Google script. Even that Google app script I'm going to show us now for data collection, that I'm going to show us as a researcher, you can use it to collect your data for your research. And you won't have much error on your research. I promise you won't have much error on your research. Now, how do you create a customized Google app script? I'm repeating myself, how do you create a customized Google app script for your data collection? Because a good analysis starts from a good data collection. You need to make work easier for your data engineer. You need to make work easier for your data analyst. So data collection is the very first step in all of this. And because to avoid this kind of messy data set, the way you can do your data collection, you can do your data collection by applying macros. You can apply macros on this particular Microsoft Excel, a kind of application form on this particular Microsoft Excel. There just be form for encounter ID, patient first name, last name, where patient can easily fill in. Under this gender, there will be a drop down menu. The patient will only have to click male or female. They won't be like they are typing text. For type, some people might type their gender and they won't start with a capital letter. Some can even capitalize everything. Some can even write M. Some could write F. Some could write 2. Some could write 1. Some could write man. Some could write woman. So this is where data validation comes in. So a good data collection translates to a very good analysis. Don't say, I have my data analyst. My data analyst will do everything. Why not make work easier for your data analyst in the very first place? Why not make work easier for a data analyst in the very first place? So, in this admit date now, as you can see, look at this admit date. This format is a format that contains both the date and time. But the format that I want is just the format for date. So all these things are very possible. So as I've said, you need to watch this video to the end. So at the later part of this video, I did clean up this data. Even though I had issues, I later had issues with this admission and discharge, but I was able to later debug it. But the way I debug it was not shown. So you have to register for our course and see how you do debugging in real time. So I can see this maternity. So many things in this maternity. Now, the other thing you can do is that you can click on the filter button. I think this is where the filter button now becomes so important. So click on the filter button, table design, filter button, and let's see. I will show you something. Now, if you want to know unique value for on all of this, so can you now see different pattern of A and E that people are entering this data set? A and E. This A space and space E, then A and E no space. Hasn't an emergency. Some people even write emergency. Some even wrote ER, emergency room. So if you don't validate your data, this error will always occur time over and time over. And if this kind of error occurs and you feed this type of data set to AI will give you a very bad analysis, a very bad result. If you want to feed your data into AI for analysis, your data set must be cleaned, it must be well transformed, and for you to achieve this is through appropriate data collection. Now let's look at ICU. Can I now say I.C.U ICU? Some people even wrote intensive care. Some people wrote intensive care units. Very full. So because all these things, so many people are filling your form. They don't know which is who. They don't know what is what. So you as the administrative staff, you should be wise enough. You should know. You should be proficient enough to ensure data validation. Look at pediatrics. Some people write PIDs. Some going write pedo and pedo posting. You see, PIDs. Some people write pediatrics. I think these are American English. No, these are British English. Some people even wrote it in American style. Pediatrics, pediatric without S. So those are the issues. Now, in your analysis, you need to all these things. You need to let Microsoft Excel know that they are all pointing toward pediatric. So PID should be converted to the normal pediatrics. PID should be converted to the normal pediatrics. Then the one, this pediatric as well will also be converted to normal pediatrics. Is it pediatric or pediatrics? I'm not sure. So that's how it works. So data validation is important. I'm going to show us how to validate your data, customize how you can use app script to generate a very customized data that can feed into your data, into your table, into your spreadsheet. That you don't even have to be including everything one after the. So you can just send out the link to people to conducting research on this and this. Everything is not about Google survey form. There are ways you can customize that Google survey form using Google App Script. I'm repeating myself, Google App Script. And at HayMedics Academy, this bootcamp, we are not teaching you just how to analyze. We are also teaching you the very first phase of data, which is what? Data collection. Are you a researcher? Are you a prof? Are you, do you want to conduct a study? All these things will be taught. Or do you want to conduct a study for a particular institution? Let's say a particular university. There are ways you can design that Google form. You can design the Google form to reflect the name of the university, the department of which the studies are ongoing, and so many other parameters, and so many other identity that could be included in that very Google form. So can you now see that now diagnosis? Okay, so for this was what I was talking about, diabetes. This one go out type 2 Roman numeral. This one go to type 2 with the normal figure 2. So those are the issues, and everything is still pointing to diabetes. Can you see T2DM? Let's now say for someone that is not in the medical field or healthcare field, can you now say that the person is going to have issue? because the person might not know that this T2DM, type 2 diabetes is also, they are all pointing to a single diagnosis, and there's no way this the analysis will not be wrong if you are not in the healthcare domain. And that is why I'm saying, I'm repeating it over and over again, that niche, choosing your niche, you have an added advantage for people that don't study, that they don't really study health courses and they are into healthcare data analysis. I want you to compete in the job market with them. You have an added advantage. The added advantage is that you are a doctor, or let's assume physiotherapist, anatomist, physiologist, even microbiology, biochemistry. All these people, they have idea about, even if you are a biology student, biology education. These are, let's just say life science generally, life science, life science, basic medical science, clinical science, pharmacy. Pharmacy. So you need to arm yourself with this data analysis and data science and compete in the job market with all these people. Some of them seeing big jobs. They don't even study science in school. Okay, they don't even study science in school. But you, let's say they study science, let's say they study statistics, or they study statistics. Let's say they study statistics, and statistics is more of physical science, more of mathematical. So you studying statistics does not mean you have a well grounded knowledge in biology. So you need to compete in the job market, and even employers are now looking for people that are their root origin, that their origin in that very domain. Okay, so that's how it is. So if you know all this, there's nothing a statistician someone that studied statistics in school will do differently that you'll not be able to do when you go for this boot camp at HayMedics Academy. So this is the BP now. Can you now see how I was able to split the BP into systolic and what? And diastolic. Okay. Now look at the weight. Look at this weight column. So if you can now see 54, then comma 6 instead of 54.6. So these are the issues. 85.8. And they went ahead to write this is a continuous variable. Okay. And a continuous variable is not discrete. Okay, all these points we call them what? We call this decimal, but in Python we call it float. So when you get to Python, I don't want to talk much on Python now. It's actually on that one is on another level entirely. I know that some of you don't like writing codes, but be rest assured, you are not really coding much, and you don't need to cram or memorize code. Okay, even for me, before I knew all this, it actually comes with regular practice. Initially, I also don't know those codes, but then with regular practice, and even now that I am at higher level now, so most of the time AI write the code because AI codes better. If you know how to, those prompts I show you, there's no way you fit those prompts to AI that AI is going to give you wrong code. And how do you get the prompt? Is when you register for HayMedics Academy. So can I saw this 54.6, 85.8, 75.4, all this this even included the SI unit. And as a way of the best practice in data analysis, anything that has SI unit, always include it in your header. This is my header. Okay, this is my header. Weight, then come in bracket kg, height in bracket centimeter. This of course is in centimeter. Now for someone that is not in healthcare domain, that person will not be able to know that there's a need for him to generate another column, which is BMI, from these two columns. So by so doing, you are doing what? You are doing feature engineering or data transformation. So that's how it works. Right? So weight, kilogram per meter square, you generate your BMI. Your temperature too, you include the SI unit here so that no SI unit is going to reflect there. So SI unit degrees Celsius. This is your fasting glucose. So what is the SI unit here? So for someone that saw you think is it milligram per, although well, as a professional you won't, of course this value can never be a milligram per deciliter. So but let's say a layman might be confused. So just put it here that fasting glucose, then you put your comma. That is the best practice in data analysis. So your header row, this is your header row. So you have to put the SI unit so that it will reflect across all what is under this column. That this is the SI unit. So 5.7 millimole per liter, 3.9 millimole per liter. Just put it on your header row. You don't need to include all those millimole per liter across. So you don't need to. Okay. So now let's now assume that this data set is being given a milligram per deciliter. So as a data analyst in the healthcare domain, you'll be able to tell your clients that This fasting grows, let me report it as million per liter. You create another column and you divide. Let's say this is 130 now, 130. You divide it by anything, you get your what? You get your new column here. You divide everything here by anything. Or yes, I think it's by anything. If I may be right, then you get your new column. That's how you get your new column for million per liter. So what you are just did is what you have transformed your data. Your smoking status, can you now see? This is binary. So here you can do encoding. You can do what in that feature encoding. You can encode no as 0, true as 1. Or you can just say yes and no. So can you now see that? Now let's look at the unique. Can you now see the unique variable you have there? So some even wrote comma 0, 1 false. You can just say, okay, oh, what I want Microsoft Excel to do is that this 0 false, 0 false, and no, they should all be treated as false. Why yes, why true, and 1, they should all be treated as yes, so that you have a complete binary variable. And that's what we did in our clean data set. So, and that's what we did, and that's what we have actually done. Where is the smoking status? Can you now see? That's what we actually done in our data set. No, no, yes, no, no. So that's what we did in our cleaner data set. So that is smoking status. Now your treatment arm, standard and standard. Some people, instead of standard, some people went ahead to have control. Your standard is also known as control. Let's say one of the people who enter your data doesn't know that, it doesn't read the instruction. But you know that you can, in research, you can still call your treatment, you know, while you are trying to do a control study, you can still call it a control. A control, randomized control trial, you can still call it control, then new protocol, but you want it to be eaten as standard care. So here now you can, there's a way intervention, can you see? And this intervention, what they mean by this intervention is also new protocol, because that is the intervention you applied. And your control means that was control, the initial care you've been giving to everybody, but the new care, the new protocol, the intervention. So, or A, your A by default is going to be your initial care, the standard, while your B by default is going to be the new protocol you've introduced. So there's a way you can tell, can you see STD? This is also standard. New. The meaning of this new is that new protocol. So there's a way you can tell Microsoft that anywhere that is, you can do all this in Power Query. The codes, there's a way you can generate code and do it in Power Query sharp. Although you can still do it on Microsoft Excel interface here without using Power Query editor by using formula. So the formula too, there are ways you can do that, and we are going to teach you at HayMedics Academy in detail. In detail, I'm adding the word in detail. Even looking at this video, can you see how this video was detailed? So that is how we do analysis. We do it in depth. We do things in depth at HayMedics Academy. So now this control, you might tell Microsoft that you want control, you want standard care, STD, you want them to appear as standard. Why you want new protocol, new intervention, okay, intervention. So you want them to appear as what? You want them to appear as what? As intervention, as a standard care. So Excel will do that for you. This is another binary column which I'm not going to really talk about. So that's how you transform and clean data. Okay, that's how you transform and clean data. So another thing here is that now let's say this is your fourth project. Now if you are also able to come up with a project in Python, okay, in Python by using VS Code, and that's why. So these are notebook we are going to use for our Python class. Let me close all this. So can you see Python? These are before we deal with any Python stuff. So we all know that you all don't know what programming is and the likes. So we teach you the basic stuff in Python first, so that you know how to do the basic mathematics in Python. You know what variable is. The kind of everything is organized using healthcare setup, patient name, patient ID, blood pressure. We teach you all these things. So this is Python. You can analyze your Python. You can analyze your data in Python using pandas, and you can also do statistical analysis using what? Using statistical analysis using SciPy. Okay, using SciPy. So that is going to give you an edge over others. When you know about biostatistics, most data analysts, they don't know biostatistics. So registering for HayMedics Academy is going to give you an added advantage. It's going to give you an edge, because if you know your biostatistics, you can even tell your colleague in class that, let me help you analyze your final year project. By way you are generating money for yourself. Even your professors, you can help them analyze Let me teach you one scope. Even your professors and your HODs, you can help them analyze their research project. When you do the analysis for them, you won't collect money. Just tell them that I don't want to collect money. Include my name as part of the co-authors in your paper, and they will include your name as part of the co-authors. The generous one among them will even still compensate you with a little token, with a little money. So, and by the time you are looking for scholarships abroad and you want a recommendation letter, they will be able to write it with willingly for you. They'll be able to write a very strong, because there are different types of recommendation letter. There's a weak recommendation letter and there's a strong recommendation letter. So when you know how to analyze, there's a way they will write a strong recommendation letter for you. You help them analyze their data and apply your skills. And if you don't learn at HayMedics Academy for other data analysis bootcamp, they only teach you analysis without teaching you statistics, without teaching you biostatistics. That is just the pure truth. Okay, that's just the pure truth, right? So you teach you the basic stuff in Python. So this is your VS Code. So Visual Code, okay, Visual Studio Code. For those of you, all these things and also for all these apps, don't worry yourself. What you need is a laptop. When you have a laptop, we are going to teach you how to get all these apps on your phone with little or no subscriptions. So we are going to teach you how to get all these apps on your phone. So don't worry on your laptop, rather. Don't worry about getting it. So even installing all these apps, it comes with some technicality. We are going to put you through. On how to install. All you just have to have is have a laptop, whether Windows, whether Mac OS, iOS. Just have a laptop. Now look at this data set. Let me show you another thing. So if I thought you don't want to use Visual Code, you can as well use Google Colab. Okay, you can as well use Google Colab here. Can you now see this Google Colab now? So look at data set we have here. So you can as well this is the same data set we've been talking about for Adam Teaching Hospital. So as you can see, this is the same data set we have been talking about. So you can use pandas. So you can use pandas to read this data set. You import pandas as PD, import NumPy as NP. Then you continue analysis. After some time, you import matplotlib. Okay, matplotlib.py as what? PLT for your what? For your visualization, for your normal visualization. Then you import Seaborn as SNS for what? For statistical visualization. So you can only use Seaborn to do your scatter plot, to do your matrix grid and its map. Okay, to do your classification matrix. Its map. Then you can import SciPy as stat to do your statistical analysis, which involves your t-testing and the like. So then and all of this. So when you do that, you can be able to copy and paste the image to your research paper. Let's say your research paper is you are working with Microsoft Office, you can be able to copy there, generate insights, generate findings, report, and all these things are just easy. So as you can see, this is the last row. So when you do df, so by default, though if you do df.head, it's going to display the first 5 rows. But if you do df.tail, it's going to display the last 5 rows. But if you just do df, it's going to display just the first 5 rows, as you can see, and the last 5 rows. Can you answer data set is 4,012 rows together with what? Together with the header row. But if you don't want the header row to be included, you just say 24 by what? 4,100 by 20 by 4,101 rows without the header column. Now, as you can see, this is your index. This is your index. These are default Python index. There's a way you can make your encounter ID an index. So all these things will be taught in Python. There's a way you can make your encounter ID to be the index, of which true it has to be the index. So there is can you see this patient full name? You can split into 2 in Python as well and do your analysis in Python. Okay. So when you do all this, you can save it back to your system. So we are going to teach you input and output in Python. Input is how you can import data into your Python. Output is how you can, that data you imported, how you can export it back into your local computer as a cleaned data set. So you have no issues. So this is your okay. So now the other project you have to come up with is project in Python. You have to come up with project in Python. Something like this. Where's my something like this? Sorry about this. Where is this project? You have to come up with project, something like this. So can you see the cardio risk AI? So this is a project now by HayMedics Academy. Can you see all my brand everywhere? HayMedics Academy, and it's a such great project. Okay, this is what the project can do. This is what it can do. Sharp. It can give you sharp explanation. When they say sharp, sharp in the sense that when they say sharp, it's just trying to give the criteria for that particular analysis that it does. PDF report, you can generate PDF, you can do what if it's in your batch upload, confidence interval, population comparison, patient history, external validation. Okay, so I built these data. These are modeled from Cleveland Clinic Foundation data set. So these are actually the most this is the most popular data set on Kaggle for this kind of analysis. Okay, so this is about the project. Okay, this is about the project. This is the project overview. These are the features. As you can see, the features, everything so neat and well organized. So all these things I can teach you. I can tell you are going to write some little codes, but there's a way. Just know the basic. When you know the basic, even if AI is generating code for you, you know when to correct the AI. So these are the model architecture. So I have so many projects. This is just one of them. So now let's do some analysis. Let's do risk assessment now. Let's do risk assessment. Let's say, okay, the patient is 55, patient is male. Let me change it to female. Let me drag this and change it to 62. What type of symptom is patient having? Non-angina. Is this exercise induced? No. What's the fasting blood sugar? Is patient diabetes or pre-diabetes? I think 120 is still pre-diabetes. Yes, let's include yes. What's the resting systolic blood pressure? Let me do 170. Then the cholesterol level, let me do 300. This patient is at high risk. Now the resting ECG that you just check. LVH, is the patient having left ventricular hypertrophy using the STs criteria. There are so many criteria for left ventricular hypertrophy. So I'll try and, we have Araoye criteria. So that's our man, Araoye, Professor Araoye criteria. So we have so many criteria. This STs now. So I used STs criteria for this particular data set. So ST abnormality, let's say there's ST abnormality, the maximum heart rate. Let me drag it down. ST depression. So since there's ST abnormality, let me drag the depression down. So the ST depression is what is downslope. ST slope is what downsloping. How many vessels are stenosed? Let's say is it the middle descending? Is it the descending coronary arteries? The posterior and anterior, the coronary artery, the descending coronary artery. So all this. So they are not. This stenosis is just trying to tell us which are under invasive result. Just trying to tell, okay, let's just say 2 vessels are stenosed. Thalassemia, this is a scan. This is a scan of the heart. I don't think it's available in Nigeria. It's a specialized, I think, PET scan of the heart. So let's say there's a reversible defect. So can you see how I grouped? Can you see how I grouped all these tests? All these are variable. I grouped it as invasive result. I grouped some as what? ECG and stress test. Then I grouped this as vitals and lab. This was grouped as symptoms and history. This was grouped as demographics. So that's how it works. So that's why I'm saying that this is my course. It's actually even worth more than 300,000 naira. And I'm running a discount of just 30k, 90% off. Because even if you want to learn this alone, it's something that worth you paying 500,000 for. So now let me analyze. Let's wait. Kainas is analyzing patient data. So Kainas that this patient is at high risk. This patient is at what? Is at high risk. So these are the details. So now the sharp that I was explaining, this is sharp now. So the sharp just to tell the rationale about that prediction. Okay, why this prediction? So this is the sharp I was explaining, just tell the rationale. So guys, you have so many. So this is how you compare this patient that I just included to the training data set, to the data set that you trained. Okay, this is how you compare. Then from here, the top 3 driver for this. So these are just sharp feature contributions. That's why there's sharper prediction there. So these are clinical flags. So this even my AI model is even trying to give this patient a kind of next line of action. And the next line of action here is cardiology referral, consider stress echo, CT or catheterization. And I can see all this next line of action is based on guideline, which is the ACC AHA 2019 therapy. So in all of this, I can decide to, okay, if I may say sometimes I'm not connected to the internet, I can just download this report on my computer and send it to. I can send it to anybody I want to send it to. So I can just download it and send it to anybody I want to send it to let's say my fellow doctor to also check. So can you now see this is the report? So this is the report. So AI is so sweet, and all these things rest on data. They rest on data. You need to understand data first. As I said, I didn't start out as a data as an AI engineer. I didn't really start out as an AI engineer. So that's one of my projects. So if you can come up with that kind of project, of course you should be ready to go. So now let me tell us data validation. How you can validate your data so that you won't be getting all this, all these are abnormal stuff. Now let's say you are a researcher now, or you are trying to call out for application for something. There's a way you can customize it. Let me show you a customizer form. So look at my own customized form, HayMedics Academy. This is a multi-stage customized form. Multi-stage in the sense that it is divided in sections. Can I start about you section? This is contact details section. This is your learning goal section. Okay, so it's divided in section. So this you can see how beautiful it is. Without doubt, this is very beautiful, well customized. My logo is there. My logo brand, which is a green color and green color and golden color. Can you see all this golden color here? Can you see all this green color? Can you see this golden color? So this is professionalism at its peak. Okay, so now let's try and include something. I want to show us how this can, the moment you fill this form, the applicant is going to get an automatic email without me typing the email, and the email is going to include the name of the applicant. There's a way you prompt your AI to, this is now AI automation, and this is part of what you are going to learn. There's a way you can prompt your codes. In your codes, I'm not going to show us the code that I used. Okay, so when you register for the course, you learn more. So when you prompt your code, when you prompt your AI and generate the code and include it on your AppScript account, there's a way you go about it in which you can do so many things. Even you as the as the owner of the form, the moment anybody fill the form, is going to return a copy to you that this person has filled this one. It's going to alert in your email. This person has filled this form. In addition to that alert, that email alert that you are also getting, and that the applicants too is also getting, there's also going to be a spreadsheet that where all this data will be going to. I'm not going to show us the spreadsheet because there are people that have registered for this course already, and all these things about confidentiality. In medicine, our main principle is confidentiality. We really understand confidentiality so well. So you don't leak secrets you are not supposed to leak. So there's a database somewhere that this thing is turning into. And we are going to teach you how you can have access to your own database, how you can make changes. Even with this database, let's say you are doing research now, the database is there. So that means you don't even need to clean your data. You don't need to clean your data. That means by the time you do this kind of forms for your research, you don't even need to clean your data. That spreadsheet, you can just, the only thing that you have to do is that maybe transform the data by generating new columns from the existing columns. Okay? Transform your data by what? Generating new columns from existing columns. And when that is being done, that's the only thing you need to do. You can feed it into AI to help you analyze, or you can even analyze it on your own, depending on your skill. You can analyze two different platforms. You can analyze with Microsoft Excel. You can analyze with Python using SciPy. You can analyze with SPSS. Because in SPSS, there's also a room for you to actually get import data. Just go to File. There's a room to import data. Import your data. So where do you want to import data? Can you see from database? From Excel, from CSV, from text, you can just import your data from most likely that spreadsheet will be CSV, comma separated file. You can just click on CSV, and that data from your spreadsheet will be imported on these particular SPSS, and you do your analysis sharp. So that is just all these things are just basic. They are just basic. All what you need is the right information. Now let us feed this and see how it's going to be. Now let me use these details I already used. And as part of data validation is that I've already registered with these details already. And since I registered with it, if I click submit, it will not submit. And the reason why it will not submit is that I'm trying to prevent the duplicate, so that your data, your spreadsheet does not have duplicate. Because by the time someone that I registered before keep registering and submitting over and over, your spreadsheet is going to have duplicate. Or let's say a research participant, a research respondent that are already feed your research questions, and by the time this person come back again to fill it again, it will not go. It will not go. That's part of data validation. Because if it keeps going, your research may be biased. Your research will be biased, and there will be so much duplicate. And I told you that in this kind of form, you don't even need to clean your data. All what you need is transfer your data. But if you have duplicate, you still need to clean your data. Now, professional background, I write doctor. I write doctor. I'm going to write doctor. Okay. I'm going to write doctor. Let's say both tracks. I want to go for both tracks. Now, can you now see this star? So this is part of another professionalism. So instead of me just saying prior experience, beginner level, and drop down, no, you are not doing drop down here. I want to feel it. So I can just click on 2 star, novice, 3 star, intermediate, 4 star, no, technology, 4 star, 4 star, proficient, advanced, 5 star, advanced, technology. This I can just click on 1 star, beginner, 2 star, novice. You see, these are technology. So can you now see these states now? Can you see this drop down? The moment you click the country, Nigeria, so can you now see you have a list of country here. The moment you click on Nigeria, state drop down, you don't even to type your state. Automatically the whole, let's say someone from abroad is trying to register for this now, and just click on USA, and by the time the person click on USA, and it lists out all the states in United States Kingdom. Technology, can you see? Technology, Texas, Ohio, North Dakota, North Carolina, New York, New Mexico, New Jersey, New Hampshire. That is professionalizing at its peak, but I still go with Nigeria. Okay, then let me just pick Quara. Can you see everything well set? So Quora, your LinkedIn profile, if you like, then you can just include anything here to learn and master data analysis. So I'm going to include that. So can you now see this? This is another drop down. So you don't have to be included, because I don't want people to be typing and by so doing it can actually cause a lot of mistakes. It can actually cause a lot of mistakes. So let me just pick WhatsApp. So if I submit this application, it will not go, because I already test one it with this Gmail already. Submit application. Can you now see technology? So you have already applied with this email address. So it will not go, because I don't want duplicate in my spreadsheet. That is the whole point. That is the whole point. I don't want to duplicate. Now, let me use another Gmail or another phone number. If you use another Gmail, but this phone number you already used, it won't still go. Let me use another Gmail. I think I have quite a lot of Gmail. Which one can I use that I have not used? Let me use this and see if I thought it's going to. Awal Abdurrahman 1998. Awal Abdurrahman 1998 at gmail.com. So Gmail address confirm, but I think I've used this number before. It won't still go. Let's try it out. I now see you have already applied with this WhatsApp number. So all what you are doing is that you are trying to prevent duplicate technology. You have already applied with this WhatsApp number. It won't still go. Now let me change this number. Do I have any number to change it to? And I don't want to use an arbitrary number. Let me change to my second number. 8107 820971. So let's use this and see what we have. This, you have already applied with this WhatsApp. Can you say I've already applied with this WhatsApp number? Let me use my friend's phone number. No. Okay. So let's see what we have. Submit application. I think I've already applied this phone number as well. Maybe my friend has already applied. 28. Let me apply it to my other friend's phone number. How can I do? I'm coming. So now, let me use this phone number. So can you now see application received? So the moment you apply, primary key will be generated, and that is what the primary key concept I discussed. This is the application ID. So this application ID is unique. It's actually unique. Okay, this application ID is actually unique to only this applicant, which is our Abdulrahman. And if I checked Gmail now, automatically a Gmail will have been sent to this applicant. So I will check the Gmail now, and you see the magic. You will see the technology. So now this is the unique applicant. So throughout the course, throughout the program, this is your unique application, and this can even be used to generate certificate. Meaning that what is you can only own this applicant ID. Nobody can share it with you. Now let's look at the Gmail, and you see that I will check my own personal Gmail and also the Gmail for the applicant, which is the Gmail that I use. Now let me check. Let me what's happening? Let me go with the Gmail of the Gmail for how do I go about this? So can you now see the mail? Okay, this kind of mail you are going to receive. The moment you register, instantly you are going to receive this mail. So thank you for applying to HayMedics Academy. Blah blah blah. You have received your details. Everything you need is in this one email. So keep it somewhere safe. So join the WhatsApp group. When you click on this, it will link you to WhatsApp. There are ways you can embed link. This is called link embedding. You can embed link and make, instead of you including the whole WhatsApp link, it will look so messy and dirty. You have to be professional. It will look so messy and dirty. You can just embed and do things like this. And you embed it under a click button. The moment you click on this, I won't click on it. I don't want to use to see my WhatsApp group. So when you apply, you're also going to receive this similar mail so that you join the WhatsApp group. So you click on it, it's going to lead you to the WhatsApp group. So, and yeah, I've made sure to explain how to make sure you are ready for our session. Use the link below to download and install the software we'll be using. Can you see? Power BI, SQL Server. So when you do this, these are ways you can, when you click on get, it's automatically, but I'm not clicking on it. Okay, it will lead you to how you can download all these things with little or minimal subscription, of which you are not even going to get anywhere else. So if your problem is that I don't have this software installed, your follow-up email, your follow-up email is going to contain all what is needed. Okay, all what is needed. So best regard, our Abdulrahman MBBS founder HayMedics. Another thing I want to highlight is that, can you now see that I don't even need to write your name from the form? The name you fill on the form, automatically AI will automate it and insert it on this heading, dear our Abdulrahman. Can you see? So that is the beauty of it. Only me, I'm doing this manually. Let's say 300 applicants applied, and I'm sending email one after the other. As a healthcare professional, I'm a very busy clinician. Is that feasible? That's not feasible. That means there will be time when I won't even go to the hospital to attend to my own patient, which is not supposed to be. So, and that's why AI workflow, the way you integrate AI workflow into your daily routine activities is very, very important. You can integrate workflow to your Gmail to know AI to read your Gmail automatically and try to suggest response to that Gmail automatically. So these are the issues. These are the issues. Can I answer best regards? So this is so professional. We look forward to helping you sharpen your data expertise. Best regards, MBS, founder HayMedics Academy. So this is the application summary. This application summary will be here. It will also be sent to my own personal Gmail, to HayMedics account Gmail, so that I can see it, and also can I say of healthcare data science. So this is the Gmail address, register Gmail address, Abdulrahman 1998. So these are all the details you filled. So it will be sent to my personal Gmail and also spent to the database where I kept the database. But I'm not going to show the database for some reasons. So I'm not going to show the database. So this is professionalism at its peak. This is what professionalism at its peak. Now, so you are going to learn this. If you are able to come up with 5 projects across all those domains we explained, you are able to come up with projects, Power BI, Excel, SQL, Python, Biostatistics, SPSS. I will build a free portfolio page for you. Okay, I'm going to build a free portfolio page, teach you how to use this, not even build. I will teach you how to use Git and GitHub. The moment you know how to use Git and GitHub, most courses that will teach you how to use Git and GitHub, they won't teach you how to use Git and GitHub to set up your website. They won't teach you that one. They won't teach you Git and GitHub to set up your website. I'm saying it with full chest. But yeah, we teach you how to use Git and GitHub, and also teach you how to use Git and GitHub to connect it to your portfolio page. Okay? We are not just teaching you how to use it only. We are teaching you real applications. real hands-on applications. Now, come to my website. So this is my website now. So this website, I did it by myself with GitHub. I use GitHub to do it. Can I say HayMedics.com, HayMedicsAcademy.com, well customized. So it's not as XYZ kinika, XYZ dot this or ABCD, and all those funny name. HayMedicsAcademy.com. Okay, well customized. And the moment you click on apply, it's going to link you to the link, but it's not going to show here because of I've logged in multiple times. Can I say I've logged in multiple times on my Google on my Google, I'm the one hosting the website, so it's not going to show on my page. Now here you can download the full curriculum. The full curriculum. If you want to apply for healthcare data analytics, so let me just let me zoom it out. Okay. So this is the website now. So if you want to apply for healthcare data analytics, you can download the full curriculum. So look at the full curriculum now. Let's look at it together. Can I now see our curriculum well designed PDF? Well designed. So I can tell you for a fact that if you want to design something like this, PDF pages like this, and you don't want to use your Microsoft Office, and it's actually a whole lot of work. Editing on Microsoft Office, is actually a whole lot of work. There are prompts you can use for AI, and you will get a very fantastic design. The prompt is available. Those prompts are available at HayMedics Academy. You can only get it at HayMedics Academy, no other place. So now looking at this comprehensive healthcare data analysis, as can see, can I now see how beautiful this looks? Let me put it on full screen. So I think I should just download there. Let's continue. Can I now see how beautiful it looks? Can you see how beautiful it looks? Can you see? So look at the cover page. Just look at this. My branding, my logo brand is what blue and what and golden color. So that color reflected throughout. That color reflected what throughout this document. So this gives you branding. Anytime they see this kind of, I even look at my flyer. Is what blue and what golden color. So how to brand as a startup? How you can brand is also part of the thing you learn at HayMedics Academy. So curriculum, these are curriculum syllabus. Can you see the golden color, the blue color? Can you see the transition? Can you see the smooth? Can you see the header? Look at this header now. Comprehensive healthcare data analysis. This header, this is professionalism. Can you see the logo at this left side and the title of the document at the right side here on the header? It's going to reflect throughout the pages of this particular notebook. Okay. So can you see the footer? The page number is on the right. Why HayMedics Academy? Then this my tagline. Okay, this is my tagline. Data, research, innovation is on the left side. On the on the footer. Then on the header, you have logo. You have document title. So this is and all these things. There are ways you can prompt. You can prompt AI to Of course, AI will not do everything, but the content will come from you. Okay, you have to prepare the content yourself. Okay, you have to prepare the content. But for the design, there are ways you can prompt AI to help you design. So this is part 1, data roles and fundamentals. So the data role PDF I was showing you the other time. So this is where I was going to explain it to you guys. So explain in plain English what a data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, and data engineer is. Can you now see AI and what each of them do? So this is where compare the roles side by side on purpose tools and healthcare use. So that was the initial when at the start of this video, that was the initial the power style I was trying to explain. So Microsoft Office beginner to advanced. So for your Microsoft Office, these are what you are going to learn from beginner to advanced. For any knowledge, let's say for people that have prior experience, I know you have prior experience, but we are still going to start afresh so that we can include those that have zero experience with our Excel. We are going to start by explaining even why are you going to use Excel. Can you see how you can navigate Excel interface? Even keyboard shortcuts. We are going to start as basic as starting with keyboard shortcuts, just for you to know that HayMedics Academy is beginner friendly. We are beginner friendly at HayMedics Academy. So these are the syllabus. These are the full curriculum. Can you see now? Part 5 is Python programming and core data library, NumPy array. So this very curriculum is different from that of our data science. Now let's look at data science curriculum. So download the full curriculum. So this is for data science. So in data science, you are going to learn more advanced Python and also biostatistics with so I'm going to show us that in biostatistics, we are not just going to work with only SPSS. We are going to teach you the core principle. You need to know the core principle before working with SPSS. So let me just go to uh biostatistics and see. Can you now see SQL, structured query language? Also, this SQL is a separate tutorial on its own. If you are to register for a bootcamp, they will teach you separately. And now we have tried to incorporate it into our tutorial, our bootcamps. So matplotlib, seaborn statistical visualization, can you now see? And you know, I was saying the other time that seaborn is meant for advanced statistical visualization like scatter plot, is plot, joint plot, pair plot, it map. As you can see here, it map. So it map, your it map. So now this is about statistics. So the very first is that descriptive statistics and distribution. So we are just going to teach you how to apply the 6895999.7 with this score. How you can calculate this score with pen and paper. No, because you want to deal with data set like let's say five data set with five rows and teach you how you can be able to calculate pen and paper. So that by the time AI or SPSS is doing the work for you, you already have the background knowledge. Okay, you already have the background knowledge. So influence study design and measures of association. So here you are going to do central limit theory, technical study designs. Okay, different technical study designs. Okay, on the evidence we have, that popular evidence we have as a researcher is something you should know. So probability two is going to discuss as I say apply square, feature just 2 by 2 contingency table. Okay, now correlation group comparisons, start testing cutting and maneuver, things like that. Then your correlation survival analysis, apply survival analysis. So research, so as well as generosity, I'm still going to teach you basic research for those. The data analysis, there's no way you want to make it to research at one point in time. You know, some research company might try to hire you. When they hire you and you don't have basic knowledge of F research, so that is actually not too good. Okay, so of research to be taught. Okay, you have to know basic. So and here we are going to look at papers, research paper, open access research papers, and we are going to analyze the results section altogether. You know, it's hands-on. You know, it's a live class. You will send class record will be available. So we're going to look, analyze all these papers one after the other. Now go come to machine learning and artificial intelligence to deep learning. You have a lot to learn. So now let me show us and where the site comes in. And I'll show us the backend code. I'm going to show us the backend code because the backend code, let's change to 7 day now. I don't want it to close. Can you see this counter? This website is a very sophisticated website. It even has a counter down 2 days. I want to change to 7 days. We have to consider some people. Of course, you know that the month is by July 31st. I'm telling you that what's today's date? July 25th. So you know most people now have the ability to pay and register for class now. So let me now change to 7 day. The timeline is 7 day for payment. So you see the backend now. So I on GitHub. You are going to learn GitHub that as well to now create your own portfolio page. And if you want to design something like for you with the customer website like this, I'm also looking for that. So this is my chat to my assistant. You can tap my assistant and it will show you. So now before my assistant, let me show you the backend. First, I did this by myself. Anything, whether you're an data science, data science, you have knowledge all domains. That makes you a tech bro, a complete bro. So even though you may have a deep knowledge about all that, but just have a spark knowledge. I have knowledge about computing, Azure, I said there, and AWS, Amazon service. So you have to be a computer tech bro. Seven. August 7. So now this is my GitHub account. Okay, this is my GitHub account. Can you now see the code? So can you now see the code? Is a whole lot of code. Can you now see the code? This is the code for the sales page and this is for the portfolio page. So this is the code for the portfolio page. So all these things, HayMedics Academy is really serious when it comes to empowering healthcare professionals with tech skills, with how to use AI, how to work smart. So can you in GitHub, how to, your portfolio page, how you can link your GitHub to your portfolio page. Which we are going to see very shortly. So now this is your now let's say now the remaining deadline is 2 day 13, and I said that people may likely collect salary around July 29th, July 30th, of which they may not be able to register. Now let's now say I want to shift the deadline. Let's say to say although this class will be on Saturday and Sundays. So let's say the class should start during first weekend in August, and the first weekend in August falls at first weekend in August. That falls at 1st of August. But I don't want to start 1st of August. Some people want to get on VND, of which time I collect and get out the class. Let's now say I want to start the class on the following subsequent week, which is 8th for Saturday, 8th of August. And the 8th of August now, my deadline will not be on August because I don't expect to be on the class Saturday. I expect to have just you. Even if I have troubleshoot everything for you, I'll troubleshoot everything for you so that you on your computers. And by the time you start live class and I'm doing something with you, well, that's that. You don't think like you're watching film or you're watching this. No, you like by going through and so on. I'm getting it. So I want them to be on Friday because that's on 8th of August, and I want them to be on Friday. So that the registration goes, the registration for the scholarship will be closed. But you want to buy that to register, that's a paid full amount. So then I'll start getting now they will pay full amount. I'll set that up now, and that is not like moved. So you have to work towards the line. So it's I said that you are paid before then. It's follow me, your follow me, you have to every day. You have implement online. You have implement when you are communicating so that some you have to share with you. You see that you have there. So there's nothing in the HayMedics Academy transparency. HayMedics Academy transparency. I've got to start in the past, it's not really with the left. What different universities, I'm sure people are going to be for that. I've worked on the fresh I've worked on the system country. Okay, so it's like for so long. But initial was on the patient, but of them what you wait what's new, we are watching you so now here for test here and this. So for you to this, I'm going to back it down as well. 7th of August. And another deadline 7th of August. I'll check that for you. And see how you remember. So I took 9. Where it is? I think 24. 24. Alright. It's 94. So I mean so before I continue to edit, I continue to edit this fine. Okay, I usually for that I present on the website, my experience on the cheese. But my sincere apology for that. So 74. So I changed the line. I want to change it. Let me write 08. Let me what is it? 08. So let's see how it should work out. It should work out. It should work out. So 08 and 07. 7th of August. 07. So that's the new date. That's the new date. So that's the new date that we want. So let's click on commit changes. And let's go to our website. Commit changes. So after changes, now let's go and refresh our website and see if certificate. Why is there today? Yeah. So can you now see that 13 day? Just close 13 day. Anything in tech, don't panic. I do this with my students. Don't panic. You might be troubleshooting something even for days, but don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. In tech, you don't have to be panicking. Can you now see that doors close and instead of the initial 2 day, it has now changed to 13 day, 13 hour. Can you see? See, this is competence. I'm showing you how competent this is competence at peak. Can you now see? Does close the 30 and I'm going to leave it this way for people to benefit from 5,000. If automatically the way this website will be structured so that you won't be able to apply. You won't even be able to click this apply button. If you want to apply, only the post then we can make it possible. So that's how it works. Now let's look at my post and see how I put to all my project I've linked my GitHub to this so let's say my professor. Let's say you're a professor or a student, so you're a potential man. You can all do now, you can click work, you can click patient can contact you. You do contact. You see, in my own this is contact. There's a patient can book appointment with you. Book it. Just it. Click and book a session. So it automatically generate a Google Meet test alert. It will generate Google Meet patient. The meeting link will send to you. It will also be sent to you. So this is that's so all these things are I use Calendly. And the other to this website, which is Calendly. About this can learn. It can be learned. Because I just like this, I can design so it. So can I just select it? You have to select this are 26. This 25. As you don't already booked this 25. That's in this small size. So already booked it. So it's not really go if you are 25th of July. It's not really go. I know today is 25th. Now that you can book a date that's gone by. Thursday, someone that has gone. If you want it, it won't go. It won't go. It won't go. So that's it. Now send me a message. Go to WhatsApp. So WhatsApp has been placed here. So I click it to WhatsApp. No, this will take you to my chat like this. So let's see. It will take you my bed. And as a professor, as someone that wants something like that, you can put your client or your patient will be able to and they will message you and some other stuff. Or as a startup company, let's say you have this small website that has been very and design that just on point. Yeah, on point. So let's use to get email. Let's say a message to this chief marketing day. So let's go there, see what we have. So what I have. I was not going. I'm having issues because if I'm the one of this and some of my applications, but the inbox will not enter the inbox that message inbox for me to receive it. So let's leave it that way. That's my assistant. So this is IT guy. I use an AI to build this. I built it myself. So that's my assistant of my project. So that's my personal life because as a job to withdraw your all your information on, it's actually too dangerous. This I'm repeating it. It's actually too dangerous. Just your personality. In fact, inside the employers, that they want to know what's supposed to happen, or maybe let's say want to find their so you can just set the answer to them. Just ask this chatbot question. What's about to answer. So let's what we do. So let me out make experiments. Let's what we have. Let me experiments. Can I answer my chatbot? You see, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. So that's what I can tell at this university. So during this internship, I know that internship last November 25. So this is how I did. So compare with across all interdepartmental managed procedures on a daily basis. Observe and assist in more than 100 perform routine procedures like prevention, practical emergency practice. It's not because so it's beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm sure it's something you can you all like. Tell me about it. About project. Let me project. Tell me about data project. When you click on this, don't like this. So let me just put some full screen. Tech sweet. Tech is sweet. Tech is sweet. I'm repeating it. Tech is sweet. Don't let me know. Don't let me loud it. So can I see this one of my apps? So I can see this. The message might declared. So even the message you want come to, you can see this on the side, the left side here, all the menu in this left side. So you can see you have your courses. My course is part here, emergency medicine, inpatient management, data science, and education, fundamental. These are my courses. So even if you don't want the portfolio page, you have option of building AI chatbot. So everything's fine. No, there are different options to explore. But for me, I'm able to put chatbots inside. But like, if you don't want to put it, this one is so good. So I'm sure it's good. So I'm going to show you this one. You see how I'm unique GitHub everything. So I'm like you don't put this and put it on your local provider. You don't put it and put it on your power. I was about to send, but I put it on your computer. What is it? On the time, you build your own mountain and put it on your web. And then Academy, you learn almost create we are seeing create. You also assist on how you put out the board. That's going to start the steps to your implement. This is my email, this is my email. This is my GitHub. Because this video is an inspiration. Assistant and check out the content like, but we are not going to analytics. Look at analytics. I'm going to show you this history question I've asked. So I asked this extension. I see this extension. I'm 24 July, at 9 to 8, at 9:30 at extension. Those are the extension of what you asked. So that's it. So now about my data source. So let me just show you how it's going to display my data and data source. Data science project. I want to see this. Let's say you have your research page. I just say my research paper here. So I just say okay, let's say your personal research event. What is it? You refer to like achievements. You research let's say your personal on the particular research your specifically your purpose that. So that's where you have to impress. You have to impress and I want to help goodies. So that's nice. So I'm going to hide this so I have enough space. So can you now see how it's analyze my data science project one after the other? It's not only it, but it's also there's so many things about the project. So can you see stroke that I built, SPS I built myself, stroke from looking at values, okay? So can you see so I explain potential action for recommendations. So this is insurance scheme dashboard that I built. This insurance scheme dashboard. So I'm going to show you some of my dashboard. So this is one of my community applications where I served as a best manager. So my PDF, I really love this PDF. Yeah, I teach practice survey. So Dr. Wali assistance, so after a dashboard. So this dashboard according to my project that I did. So what I can do as a factor such as matter quality and malaria incidents talk about quality. So I'm going to focus on dashboard and show it out. This one is patient medicine dashboard. This is what I use to us in Power BI. I visualize 9,116 emergency patient services and I'm going to do analysis in the dashboard. So hospital patient, so many of them can see some of the towers that are put through that's for analytics end-to-end pipeline, also then medication transfer to the processing. So these issues, these are the things you stand with and I can see this portfolio. Let's also talk about this is my GitHub. So my GitHub automatically. So now I updated my website on this GitHub. I can see that is date on 24th of July 2026. Updated HTML. So to show you that this update happens automatically because you click in the page. Because I've done it through. Okay, I've done it through search for this is my final search for it. So you have to check out the story. I'm just going to put some so let's just show you my public practice of system motivation. In fact, if I ever need system motivation is done as a 4 cycles. Try actually I was telling the shooting spark. So that's why I'm there. Okay, it's a drug for profilactic malaria and the book of treatment. Okay, so if I ever put trouble, every step down medication is fast. So it comes to different. So that's the research project I did for my MBA degree and it's on this particular community in the South Community of Kwara State. So those are issues. You can see the way I put it into my study open to the top. Let's open it. So can you see this is on my GitHub. This is on my GitHub. So all this don't let it me or other research paper in the people can answer medicine and like so I think this is research paper. So but you know, as you can see the flat on the document. So this is document. So those are the advantage of the textbook. And now another thing I want to show us is that let me show you my analyzer. And I repeat that if like you learn the analytics, you learn some other stuff. You might you have job now. I'm saying you become jobless in few years. Now this analyzer I built. Let me show you. Those data sets you are looking at, I feed it. I can see I'm feeding to this data analyzer is going and what it will do is that to clear your data A to Z and transfer it. I'm going to clear your data, but also generate charts and dashboards. So to generate it's going to so much data dashboard by data. So let's look at the app and show you in data analyzer. This is the app. My application. Get back. So anybody can use this. So it's open access. My open access. And for now I have open access, but there's a place I'm working on. Not going to open access. Where's you subscribe to it? So the payment number, agentic AI or payment number. Let's say I need to subscribe to £2,000. That is million for you. And it's a free software. You can just make something like that. You can have a mini textbook. Okay, mini textbook where patient can use word counts and any in case they need an emergency information or something. That app is going to become the best guideline information about particular solid matter. Let's say you look at the latest analysis of osmolality. You know, your osmolality is for some 2 weeks. So all these things, you can able to look it out for it, and it's going to show you the latest guideline, pull from the latest guideline. So these things are, that's exactly the next project. So it's not your mathematics, you're logging, there'll be a social platform on it, and of course, and that is part of the things happening. When you start your data science analysis course in HayMedics Academy, you stand a chance. I'm saying you stand a chance to be in the HayMedics Academy, and also stand a chance of getting to work on projects, to work on projects. If you want on projects, the more experts you become. And let's upload the data set. Let's upload the data set. I'm going to post it now. So this data set that I want to use, I've uploaded the data set now. Okay, I've uploaded the data set. So, and that was the data set we are looking for. Encounter that initially this particular data set. So I encounter the patient full name. Now let's ask our analyzer to analyze it. So in this type of analyzer now, for some employers, so if they lay their hand on this type of app, they don't need data analyst. They just sack you. But as data analyst and data scientist, if you employ just AI and convince your employer enough that you are capable of so many other, they might even employ you for the fact that you have knowledge of AI. So that's like, so now these are the stuffs here. These are users. So just say, hey, now I need to clean height, weight, gender, smoker status. Can you see everything? So now let's clean it and see. So we are doing this live. Clean. So propose a plan for me. Then apply all 90% confidence. So apply all 90% confidence. So can you see the task initially? Apply by him, so 30. So gather the data set is being cleaned. So this is a whole lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff. And really, so that's just to show what you can do. Even as a data analyst, if you're not careful, you can get some, because you have app that can build dashboard, that can clean data. Let me see, that can clean dashboard, even suggest chart. So there are charts. So this video is going to be long, so I'm really sincere apology for that. I don't want to make it the video in more time, for as the healthcare professionals, we always do this when we have time. Today is Saturday, and Saturday always be our time for the interactive class. So by Monday I have the time to visit, and these are there are so many people I'm working on. So so render all. Let's render all this and see the bar chart, and can and see how it generates charts automatically. Responses by smoker, responses by different arm. Although this I was not working actually, can I was working it. But the less, I'm just that the point is that this is the point, and the point is that AI apps can replace you. Yeah, not special. If you don't learn from the results, AI can replace you. You just take the That's the whole point I'm trying to say. Now let me show you how to beautiful dashboard, and of course you can come to my GitHub and look out for it for yourself. But let me just show you my local computer, some of my beautiful projects. Although I have so many AI projects, but I'm going to show everything. So this is show project, this is don't action project. HayMedics Outreach Studio. So this is also about automatic sending of news. So you reach out, you try to gather news, then you send it automatically. But when you check out, you'll be able to explore another data. So now let me show you some of my projects, and of course since my project on Pi, let me back to port. So you've seen my project on these for a sales. This is dashboard. What's up, champion? So this is a sales dashboard. I think about one emergency. So this is my data model now. This is data model now, because you have to model data. Okay. So I think it's not since well, this is data, and that's why this model is not well modeled. Manage relationship. So now looking at the dashboard, so can you now see this beautiful dashboard? There's a way you can even use AI to generate this. You firstly use AI to generate the template on Microsoft presentation first. After generating the template on Microsoft presentation, I'm teaching on scope. After generating the template on Microsoft presentation, there's a way you can copy the interface, the background onto this Canva. There's a way you can set up your Canva. All these things will be taught at HayMedics Academy. There's a way you can set up your Canva so that the Microsoft presentation slide will fit, that image will fit into this. When the image fits into this, there are ways you can to generate code for each of these measures. So things are just easy. They're just too easy. You understand how busy you are as an healthcare professional, and that's why I don't want to take your time. We just want to teach you the long method and also the short method. So that basically when you have the luxury of time, you can always use the long method. But in the case when you are busy one way or the other, you switch to your short method. I want to post this, but it's not posting. Let's go to GitHub. Let's go out to GitHub and look at the project one after the other. So to my repositories, Is the recording still on? Is the recording still on? Okay, the recording is still on. To my repository, my system is now a whole lot of work. I think I'll have to end this video very soon. If not, it won't be saved, and I don't want that. I really expend so much effort on this. So now looking at it, so this is hospital length of stay dashboard. Although if you go to my LinkedIn account, so everything there, just search for our HayMedics Academy, everything is there on my LinkedIn as well. This is average length of stay dashboard. So this is how you make your project. This is how you make it public. Can you see? Can you see the dashboard there? Very beautiful dashboard I built. Very beautiful dashboard. So these are the things I'm going to learn. So when I started to learn, even for me, I started out my data analysis after my internship, and that's around September 2025. And look at where I am today. So it's actually possible for you to move to climb so fast. It's very, very possible, and you start getting work from clients, and start, it's fun side hustle. And in fact, if I visit scholarships and the likes, so HayMedics Academy, this is how flex dashboards are used. So I got this information from my website. It can be right. It's part of my LinkedIn. Yes, it's my LinkedIn. Check it out. So look at the maps that I built.